Réacteur instable. Éjection du pilote.
Pilot, your Titan will be ready in 2 minutes.
All right, let me turn that down for you guys. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing amazing. Hope you guys are enjoying your day. Hopefully this helps you, make the day go by faster. School, work, probably work, you know. I don't know what my demographic is. I'm doing great. If you guys are at work, I hope you guys have an easy shift. And if you guys are working graveyard, hope you guys have a good day's sleep. I'm your host, Armando Ortega, and welcome back to another episode of the Mind of Mando. Good news. Well, good news for me because I've never done something like this. The Hulk video that I had in the intro of last episode, I posted it first in my comic channel and everything, and within 3 days they already had 400 views. I think the views has stopped coming up. I don't know why. Maybe because Disney Marvel doesn't want want more people to see it or anything like that. Yeah, it still stayed at 400 views, but I'll just say it because I made an announcement on my other channel. My other channel, it's called Mando Comics. So basically take the Mando from this channel and just put the word comics after that, and you'll see it right there. You'll be able to tell which one's mine. I put an updated video 3 days ago on it too. So I'm stoked. I mean, I have other videos that are like somewhat more views than that, but the thing is, those are videos that I made back in early 2016, and this is a video that I made like 5 days ago. So it's just like it was insane. It was exciting watching those numbers raise up, but I did it for fun. I did it to like really kind of display a message as to like, hey, come on, dude. This shows the writing is terrible, but I think the point is getting across and everything. Other than that, music in the background, if you guys think it sounds familiar or anything like that, if you guys ever owned a Game Boy Advance, SP like I did, you'll recognize the theme song for Mega Man Battle Network 3 theme song. This is the theme song that plays when you boot up the game and you're at the main menu and everything. It's just it's an incredible song. I was a fan of it when I was a kid, when I would boot up my Game Boy SP, and I just start playing this. I just listened to this intro. This is the extended version. To be honest, it's like, holy crap, it's actually pretty pretty long and everything. Let's see if I can find something else. Oh yeah, before I get started on the theme of the topic of this episode, I just wanted to show you guys a little cool thing. I told my buddy last night before we started playing Titanfall. Oh yeah, Titanfall. Quick side topic. If you guys don't have Titanfall came out in like 2013, 2014 when the Xbox One came out. They released it for the 360 and the One, and it's better on the One, to be honest. But what we found out a few months ago actually, is that Titanfall had been taken off the marketplace for Xbox. And we're like, oh, what the hell, that sucks. But then my buddy, he went to go see it, and there's articles out there stating that Respawn took off the game from the marketplace without any reason. They didn't explain anything. They didn't give a reason as to why they did it. They just did it, and it's like, well, that sucks, because like they're like, believe it or not, people still play Titanfall to this day, because it's still a fun game that holds up, even better than 2 in my opinion. A lot of people like 2, but I don't. How do you call it? Even though I own two. So like what was it? So my buddy, he goes to the store because I swear I remember also seeing Titanfall still at the store. So he goes to the store and I think he like special orders it or something, or he's going to. And what he finds out is that the store no longer is no longer carrying it. The GameStop is no longer carrying it. They don't supply it. They don't do anything. It's just gone from their whole database. From what he was told, it's just not a thing that pops up anymore. So it's just like, damn, that sucks. He managed to buy it off of Amazon and everything, so he has it. We were playing last night, but it's just a game that, you know, honestly, he said this last night. It's probably gonna be a collector's item one day because it's just like it's just not being sold anymore, and it's just like hold on one second. Excuse me, I just had water. And what do you call it? Hold on, let me just change this. I love this music, but it's just like, come on, throw some like mixes in there, you know. Hope you guys are doing well. Just changing it up real quick, and this should be it right here. A little more somber, you know, even though it shouldn't be that way because this day is beautiful. It's hot as hell, but it's beautiful. Well, anyways, yeah, he was saying like it's probably gonna be a collector's item one day because it's just stopped being sold everywhere, not in the marketplace, not in GameStop or any store, as that matter of fact. And if you don't get yours, probably Amazon's just gonna stop selling it too, you know. So yeah, I was lucky enough when I bought my Xbox Ones back in 2014, and still works. It's crazy. How do you call it? It was a bundle. It included Titanfall in it, and how do you call it? As a game already installed into the hard drive, and so I've been playing Titanfall since day one, and it was fun as hell. So yeah, so if you guys don't have Titanfall, go ahead and just like get it, you know. Well, anyways, back to the other original side conversation. Yesterday after work, I was just like, you know what? I'm the type of guy who likes to try a lot of different things and everything. Like I get it. If I find a theme that I like or anything, I'll roll with it and I'll try and get embraced as much as possible. Like when I made the Horker Loaf from the Elder Scrolls cookbook, I would put up the Bannered Mare music, tavern music from the Elder Scrolls from Skyrim. I put the music on my speakers, and I was just playing that in the background as I prepped everything, as I was making the double baked potatoes, as I was making the Horker Loaf and everything, and it just got me in, how do you call it, the mood of things, you know. It was fun. It makes me feel like embraced, and as my buddy says, immersion wasn't ruined. But yeah, so and then like, how do you call it, so yesterday I get off of work and like I'm just like, you know what I haven't had in a long time? Just like get off of work and just walk and just stop for a beer before I get back home. So I decided to do that. There's this place across the street from my place work called Tivoli's, and usually sometimes I would go in there, but then I thought about it. I was like, hey, I always wanted to go to an Irish pub. So there's this Irish pub by my job also. I go there. Think about me, I don't like Guinness, but they were serving this dish called Guinness beef stew. So I was like, man, I love stews. Yeah, you know what? I'll get it. So I ordered that, and there's this ale that the Irish make in Ireland called Kilkenny cream ale, and I never had a cream ale. I kind of figured it would probably be a thick consistency, like cream soda or something like that. It came in. One, I don't really like ales, not so much. It's kind of hard for me to like find an ale that I'll actually enjoy. That was pretty tasty. It wasn't too strong on the tongue. It wasn't leaving me a super weedy taste in my mouth. it was nice. You had the notes and everything, and on top of that, it was creamy. You know, when drinking it, it was like, oh wow, it's a little thicker of a beer, but it was actually really good. And I had that along with my Guinness beef stew. Let me tell you, that paired with the music from Ireland, it was oh my god, it was an experience. You know, I want to make it at home now, but you know, one day when me and my lady have a day off or a day to ourselves, I'm gonna take her there for like a nice dinner, maybe close to the weekend when it's a little busier, because you know, it just feels good. But yeah, so yeah, my first time going to an Irish pub, trying the Irish cuisines, and I loved it. I'm a fan of it, you know. So yeah, that was a little side thing. Well, anyways, it's gonna be a short episode most likely for today. I'm just gonna talk about one story, maybe two, if I feel like we have time or anything. Good portion is because I forgot to charge my battery from the last time. I'm usually good at that, but this time I forgot. And besides, I kind of want to get stuff before I get into work at 2 o'clock today. Hold on. So yeah, my buddy, he tagged me on a video today on my Facebook, and it was a story that happened almost a year ago, around like 9 months ago and everything, by the end of last year. And it's something that locally it did garner like outrage from the community, from the locals. But this is a good example as to what I've talked about in my previous videos when it comes down to accountability and everything, and you know, how people need to learn how to have accountability for their actions. Because if you grew up believing that everything should be catered to you, everyone should do what you want them to do, and no one has the right to question you about it because you're a little prince or a little princess or something like that, it's not correct. Because just like you were raised in that lifestyle, there are other people who were raised in a different lifestyle. Some people will be like, hey, they raised in a lifestyle of yeah, you're not going to take crap from anybody, and if they try and get you twisted, go ahead and teach them what life is about. You have some people raised like that. The other people be like, hey, learn when to bite your tongue, learn when to hold back, but also know when injustice is done towards you, and make sure that they know that they're not going to get away with what they did so easily. And unfortunately, you had the first person who feels like they shouldn't get in trouble come in contact with the person who isn't going to let them get away without getting in trouble. What am I talking about? What's happened in Florida and everything. So there was this woman in Florida. She was driving. She was let's see. She was 35 years old. Orange City, Florida. So she was 35-year-old. Her name was Sarah Morales. She was driving on the 1400 block of North Volusia Avenue. When what report said, multiple reports actually, this is the only reason I'm saying this part, where she intentionally hit a motorcyclist who was 40 years of age called Andrew Durr. So she intentionally hit him, and to the point where, yeah, he got knocked off his motorcycle. And the right thing to do, the legal thing to do, and the moral thing to do is, whether intentionally or not, you hit somebody, stop. Well, one is don't hit them, but if you do, is stop. Don't drive away. Don't run away. Don't do anything. Because at that point, that is a hit and run, which is a crime. It's against the law. One second, I'm drinking some of my coffee real quick. Hold on. Oh man, that coffee's still hot. Love it. Is to stop, because you just hit somebody with your vehicle. Damages may have been made to the vehicle. Damages may have been suffered by the driver, the rider, or anybody on board that vehicle. So stop. It sucks. It's gonna suck for you, Because if it's proven that you're the one who was negligent, you're the one at fault, you're the one that has going to have to go with your insurance to pay for their damages to their vehicle. Not only that, if they want to push it even further, they can sue you and have you pay off their medical bills if there's any. It's a long line of legal mumbo jumbo, and it's gonna suck for you, but that's what happens for not paying attention. Unfortunately, that's what happens. So that's what you have to do, and that's what the law requires to you to do, and that's the right thing to do. But what did 35-year-old Sara Morales do? I don't know why I'm saying that like that. Sarah Morales. Oh, because she's probably Latina. Sara Morales. What did she decide to do? So she intentionally hit this guy, according to reports, who was riding his motorcycle, and then she fled the crash scene. She just fled. That's a hit and run, like I explained already. There is such a thing called a miss and run, where you don't have to make physical contact with anybody or their vehicle or anything like that. What a miss and run, what basically would qualify as a miss and run is if you, the driver, are being negligent and you make moves that weren't, that you didn't have the right of way. You made like a lane switch, you took a turn, you sped through a light or whatever. You managed to clear everything without ever touching anybody or anything, but because of your negligent moves, because of your negligent driving, other people had to quickly move out of the way or delay or slam on the brakes or whatever, causing them to either get into a different crash, hitting a different object, hurting another person or anything like that, which all would have been avoided had you not done what you weren't supposed to do. And in that case, that would be called a miss and run, because even though you're the one who caused the accident despite not touching anybody, you're the reason that accident happened and you refused to stop. Miss and run. So yeah. Well, anyways, this was a hit and run and everything. So let's say you're the motorcyclist. I know I said you were just a driver, but let's say you're the motorcyclist, and you're fine, and your bike's still running, but you just see that this person who hit you intentionally and could have had you killed right then and there, or made you suffer until your death arrived, it just was like, all right, cool, and then just speeds away. You're going to get on your motorcycle and you're going to follow them. There are citizens out there who, despite not being involved in that thing, feel like they have a moral obligation to go and follow that person who had just hit you also, and try and get them to stop or get their information while calling the police and everything. That is not wrong. It's called being a good Samaritan. You're trying to help somebody who was done unjustly, whose life had been threatened, and you're just trying to help. So this is the case. So this guy gets on his motorcycle while calling police, and he's following her. A lot of people are like, well, he didn't have to follow her, he was okay. It's not the case. That's not that's not the whole thing. Don't hit people intentionally with your car, which could either severely injure them and or kill them, and then think it's just okay because, oh, they got up, they're fine. That's not how it goes. Imagine if that was your loved one or that was you. That'd be hella annoying. That'd be like, this fool almost killed me. Hell no, I'm not gonna let them go away and everything. So they start, he starts following her and everything, with other people also helping him out, and and following her also. So yeah, they don't say how many other witnesses help follow, but he had witnesses also get in their vehicles and help him follow her. So while they were following her, she was refusing to pull over. She was refusing to stop or anything like that. And I think at this point, she may have started calling 911 saying that she had been followed. Here's the thing that a lot of people feel. It's split. I don't know why it's split. Well, I do know, because some people just don't know what accountability is. Where people are split. She gets to her house. All right, so she's now at her house. She gets out of her vehicle and she runs. She runs inside her house. They arrive him, the motorcyclist, and the witnesses of, of her hitting him off his bike, they arrived to her house. From what I read in multiple different articles, they got to her house, but they didn't step on her property. They didn't get on her lawn. They didn't go to her porch. They didn't start pounding at her door, trying to enter inside or anything. They stayed on the roadway right there in front of her house. So what she did was, because she was on the phone, there's a recording from the local dispatch, Orange Dispatch, about her. She goes in there and grabs a gun. And she goes right back outside to confront the motorcyclist and the witnesses who are followed her to her house. So when she gets a gun, she goes up to him, and thing is, the motorcyclist, he was lawfully carrying his own weapon. So what did he do? He opened fire on her and hit her multiple times. And yeah, like I said, he had a CCW. He was lawfully able to carry a concealed weapon on him. So he pulled it out and he opened fire on her. So, police, they heard the shots because she was on the phone with the police at that point. And medics were rushed out there and everything. And she was rushed to the hospital, where she was pronounced dead. To make matters a little more worse is the fact that she died, but when all this occurred, she was already 4 to 5 months pregnant with her second child. And of course, I haven't read anything regarding, what happened to the child, but I am leaning heavily towards the child's dead. The child did not survive or anything, and is dead along with their mother. And that is exactly what how do you call it? I'm sorry, I'm looking at something. Oh yeah, and that is exactly as to why how do you call it? People are split on it. A lot of people are saying, look, he was too trigger happy. He shouldn't have followed her. She was already at home. He didn't need to shoot her. And I've even read enough people say things like, well, how did he know that she was gonna shoot him? Huh? How did he know? He wasn't sure that she was even gonna use the gun on him. And it's just like, that is one of the most, how do you call it, just not good arguments. It's like, yeah, she pulled out a gun, but how do you know that she was going to use it on you? One, why else, what do you call it? Why else would you put out a gun on somebody, and confront a crowd if you're not going to use it? Oh, they could have just used it to scare him. With what? What do you think the source of that fear is going to be? A fear that maybe, I don't know, maybe he'll get fired from work or something? No. If you're going to use a gun for intimidation on somebody, that intimidation is rooted in the fear that they're going to lose their life. So they're just using it to just scare him. Yeah, scare him to believing that he's going to lose his life right there. Anybody, whether you work in retail, whether you work in a grocery store, whether you work in security, whether you work, I don't know, maybe doing Uber or something. If somebody who you're interacting with, who you have to interact with, all of a sudden produces a handgun and is waving it at you, you're gonna think, holy crap, this person is probably gonna use that on me. You're not thinking, well, we don't know if they're gonna use it on you or anything like that. We don't know if they're gonna shoot you if that's what they want to do. It doesn't matter. If you don't know, assume that they are. That's by default what people should have. There's too many empathy for criminals. There's too much, leniency towards criminals. If I go up to any single one of you and point a gun straight at your face, and your response is to somehow produce your own weapon and blast me in between the eyes because you fear for your life, that's reasonable. No one should fault you for thinking that that's what you thought was going to happen. Oh, well, you don't know that he was going to use that on you. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Such a ridiculous argument. Don't produce a weapon and brandish it at people if you don't think, if your thought process is like, well, they shouldn't shoot me because they don't know if I'm going to use them. That's, you know how it is. And this music's way too loud. So yeah, well, anyways, I just found an update. This was published March 8th of 2022. Like I said, this happened last year and everything. November 20th, 2021. Yeah. So almost a year. It's already August. I would have been, yeah. Well, actually, what day? Oh, it's August 31st. Oh, it's basically the beginning of September. Holy crap. Man, time flies. You guys ever realize that? You guys ever realize how much time flies? Yeah, it's insane. Well, so, yeah, there's an update here. So, that's all that happened. Let me just finish my original thoughts. So, I've been saying so a lot. Jesus Christ, I don't know what's wrong with me. It's warm right now. I can't think straight. My cats are sleeping. They're adorable. I love them. You know. So I found this out. So she comes out with her firearm. She produces it, but like, why is her reason to produce it? She's scared. People are following her. She's scared. What do you expect? Just think. Why would she be scared? People are following her. Are you sure that's the only reason? Why were people even following her? I get it if you were walking in the middle of the street and then you have some randos behind you with their hoodies up and just like, you know, being hella mysterious, and then they start running after you, and then you run to your house and everything like that, and then they start running to your door trying to get inside. You produce a fire. I get that. I get that. Nobody would fault you for producing a firearm and possibly using it on these people. But the reason she was followed was because she intentionally hit a motorcyclist. Intentionally. Like, she was doing it. She knew she was doing it and she wanted to do it, so she did it. People die from that. If she had died and if she had killed him, would have anybody batted an eye? What if the headline read, 35-year-old Florida woman intentionally hit a motorcyclist rider, resulting in his death? People would be outraged. People would be absolutely mad. Oh, what? She belongs in jail. She took away an innocent life. Oh, this and that. She's sadistic, this and that. But all of a sudden, when they find out that she produced the gun when she was home because she decided to do a hit and run, and she got killed while being pregnant, all of a sudden people are like, oh, that was unfair. That was unfair. That's ridiculous. This and that. Why did they have to follow her? Because she's a criminal. That's why. She wasn't convicted of anything. I don't care. We got witnesses saying that she intentionally hit this guy and fled the scene. And once they were trying to follow her, she refused to stop. And then she ran inside. They didn't even chase her. She ran inside. They were waiting for her outside, according to the articles. And she came out with a gun. What do you expect? What do you expect? Like, honestly, the fact that people are like legitimately, wholeheartedly are defending people who commit crimes, hit and runs. Like I said, imagine if that was someone you loved and you found out that the person who hit them while they were on their way home did it on purpose and tried to run away. You would, don't even lie to yourself. You'd be like, oh my God, we got to find out who did this. It's ridiculous. Don't protect criminals. Stop. Is this really how today's society is? It's ridiculous. It's moronic. And you see why people become bolder and bolder and bolder. I don't know about you guys because I watch a lot of YouTube, but I don't know about you guys. But I've been seeing, and this actually makes me pretty happy, the fact that there are people out there who will go to stores and hold them up at gunpoint, hit up jewelry shops, hit up everything with their masks on, with their hoodies on and everything like that. And then either the workers, the employees, the managers, even the customers will come out and like either throw hands or stab some fools or just use their own lawfully carried firearms to just end them and everything like that. And there's been an influx of victims becoming the victors and everything against criminals. It warms my heart because it shows that people are tired of being victims. People are tired of just wanting to go to the store, saying what's up to the people they see almost every other day or every day or whatever, and then just being scared that someone may come in there, and if they don't give them stuff that they worked so hard to have, they might just get killed. They're tired of that, and then they're defending themselves. They're doing something, and the fact that people are out there being like, well, this is sick. Oh my God, this is terrible. I'll post up a video about this woman whose brother went into like a Dollar General, I think, or a dollar store or whatever, and like he's in there robbing the place and like with a firearm, and one of the employees pulls out his own firearm and just pulls out his own firearm and just blasts that fool, and dude died.
Say a Dollar General clerk shot and killed 23-year-old Roosevelt, who showed a gun and demanded cash Wednesday.
Witnesses indicated that the weapon was brandished and pointed at employees.
The siblings recognize their brother's wrongdoing.
He got some responsibility, but not all.
But they say that still doesn't warrant the clerk's actions.
Right and wrong is wrong. That was wrong for that clerk to shoot my brother in the chest. Yes, he's robbing y'all. Oh, well. Call the police. That's what y'all supposed to do. Y'all not supposed to take matters in your own hands.
And then they're interviewing the robbers or the would-be robbers, brother and sister. She's like, right is wrong, right is right, and wrong is wrong. What that store employee did was wrong. It's like, oh, my brother's robbing you guys with a gun. Oh, well, it just doesn't mean you got the right to shoot him. And I'm like, that's exactly what that means. That's exactly what that means. Why are you okay, you can kind of give the whole sense of like, oh, your brother, he was your brother. You loved him, he loved you. I don't know, maybe he was doing it for a noble cause, most likely not. In the end of the day, you take away everything and you're still left with the fact that you have one man who is unknown to the people inside that store, robbing them at gunpoint with a weapon meant to take life away. And you're mad that somebody got the drop on him to stop the threat and save everybody else. It's ridiculous. Well, anyways, back to the woman. What was her name? Sarah Nicole Morales. She came out with a firearm because what she was telling the cops is that she's being chased. What she wasn't telling cops is she was being chased because she just committed a hit and run. Like that had a high risk of killing the guy she intentionally hit and then she ran away from. So now she comes out with a firearm. He sees that. He doesn't know if she's going to use it on them or not. It's his responsibility to make sure everybody there, including himself, are safe. So what does he do? She comes out with a firearm, produces his own, and just ends her. He wasn't there originally to kill her, because if he was, he would have been able to do that on the way to her house. He was there to have the cops, because guess what? He was also on the phone with the cops. If you're just there to kill somebody, you're not gonna go and call the cops and have your crimes recorded onto their dispatch. You're not gonna tell them your current location and then commit your crimes, unless you like the challenge or you're weird. So it's like, this guy wasn't here to do anything like that, sir. He just wanted justice to prevail. And she escalated the situation, and then he responded, and then he came out on top. So that's what happened. It kind of sucks because she was pregnant, and it's very likely that baby did die and everything. That baby deserved nothing of that. It was all her. It was all her selfish decisions. It really was. It's ridiculous. Well, what do you call it? This update on this article is prosecutors will not charge an Orange County motorcyclist who shot and killed Volusia Volusia County library assistant who had pointed a gun at who he said pointed a gun at him. Oh, so she may have came out and actually see, that's another thing. Okay, so if that's I gotta read witness statement. So if that's the case, she came out with her handgun, with her firearm, and she pointed it at him. That's why. Why? You don't do that unless you're gonna use it. Oh, it's only for intimidation. Yeah, you're intimidating by making them believe that you're gonna use it. Oh my god, it's just like, you guys ever seen that whatever happened to that one place a couple weeks back where 4 guys roll up to a liquor store, and there's this one old man there who owns the store, the owner. And one of them, they all wear masks, I'm assuming. But the 2 who came out and wore the mask, the first one came in, what looked like a shotgun. He came in, the old man, the old store owner, just produced his own rifle and just one shot at that fool in the arm. Dude was so scared. He was screaming that he blew his arm off. He lost his arm and everything. From what I heard is they all got arrested anyways. But it's just like, you ran in there trying to strong arm this fool by making him believe that he had that you were going to use your firearm on him if he didn't comply. Yet he had the drop on you with his own firearm, and he actually used it. And guess what? He did not get in trouble. He did not go to jail or anything like that. Police came in, did their thing, and were like, hey, you know what? Good job on protecting yourself. And they interviewed people the next day about what had happened the night prior and everything. And guess what? Every single one of them was like, good. Awesome. Yeah, screw those guys. The owner's awesome. It's like, more people should do that. And more people are doing that. Because even though, although there's people out there being like, firearms shouldn't be a thing. Or it's cool. Ask the UK. Ask the UK if they're like super peaceful over there, or there's an influx in stabbings. You know? So it's just like, some would argue that stabbing people was worse. Because they don't even die right away. You know? You're making them suffer. I don't know. But yeah. So it's just all ridiculousness, you know what I mean? Just all ridiculousness. This, stop, how do you call it? Stop trying to protect criminals. That's it. It's like, just because you're a woman, or just because you're young, just because you're older of age, just because you're pregnant or not, doesn't mean that your actions are excused. It doesn't. And if you're gonna come out claiming that you're being followed after someone followed you because you hit them on purpose with your car and they were on a motorcycle, like, damn, the cops are hearing my rants, they're gonna arrest me. It's free speech. Damn, my coffee's good. If you're gonna do all that crappy choices, and you're gonna come out to top things off, you're gonna come out with your gun and point it at somebody who literally wasn't even a threat to you. In fact, you were the threat to them since the start. Why are you gonna be hella surprised when they decide to produce their own firearm and just shoot you? You know, and that's why it says prosecutors will not charge the motorcyclist who shot and killed her. Because of what had happened. They looked at all the facts. They took all the witness statements who were also there firsthand. And they're like, hey, yeah, no, you know what? She died. Yes, she was pregnant. But look at everything she just did. Literally, if she did not intentionally hit somebody with her car, she would have still been here. That, for the fact, everything. I don't care. Road rage. I get mad in the road too. I get pissed off. And I would be a liar if I said I didn't pop out of my car a couple of those times and just throw down with some fools in the street. I would be a liar. But I know at any point, if some fool, because if I was the primary aggressor and some fool comes out and just absolutely wails at me, that's not their fault. That's me. You know, I calmed down a lot since then. So you know what? And I can admit it was stupid. Anything were to happen to me, that was my fault. That was all on me. So it's just like, if I can do that, if I can admit all that, other people can admit also too. It's like, hey, listen, yeah, some dude cut you off. Yeah, some dude almost sideswiped you. But guess what? You're okay. They're okay. Everyone around you guys is okay. Let it go. Let it go. Unless you have the law on your side, then just take it the more legal, safe route, you know? So, how do you call it? So, yeah, she ended up dying in front of her house. And, let me see what else they said. From the email. Was it an email? Yeah, so it says, Assistant State Attorney Brian Shorstein, a spokesman for the 7th Circuit State Attorney R.J. Larissa, wrote in an email on Tuesday, that Durr being the last name of the guy who was the motorcyclist who got hit, that Durr would not be charged. Email states, the state attorney's office has completed a comprehensive review of this case. The Orange City Police Department concluded after a thorough investigation that the suspect would not be charged with the crime. Shorstein wrote, while the facts in this case are truly heartbreaking, the law does not authorize the filing of any criminal charges. Our sincerest thoughts and prayers go out to the Morales family. So yeah, it was a simple case of road rage. Road rage that went insanely wrong. Like I said, all this could have been avoided. All of it. Just stop. Like, really, it's not worth it at all. Instead, be smart. That's what I'm saying. Be smart. Not my buddy smart. He's dumb. But be smart, intelligence-wise. Because it's just like, look at this. I wish I had a forward-facing dash cam. And everything like that. But I know there's other dash cams that can record in front and in back of everybody in the car. Those are cooler. Invest in those. Really, if you guys drive, it's how much? A few bucks, tens of dollars. Just invest in a dash cam. My lady has one. It is one of the smartest things she has ever decided to do. She is going to invest on the backward facing camera also. And just do it. You know, I saw an Uber driver using one time, and I was like, dude, that's hella smart. And then, you see all these stories of Uber drivers either getting robbed or mistreated or anything. They also had a dash cam that pointed backwards. So they captured everyone's faces. That's how that girl from SF and everything. I think I had just left SF last year when this happened. But this girl in SF, in 2020, when COVID was still, how do you call it, crazy, she was an entitled brat, super entitled, that she ended up just intentionally coughing on her driver and everything, and she ended up getting arrested, mainly because she pulled out OC or mace and just sprayed it and everything. Why? Because he asked her to put on her mask. That was still mandatory. Uber and Lyft were still telling hey, mask up. That's literally what you got to do in order to use our services. So mask up. She didn't want to. She took it as an insult, and she decided to do all the stuff with her hood ratchet ass friends and everything. It's terrible. It's terrible. Seriously. So what do you call it? What did we learn today? Just be accountable of your actions, dude. Honestly, it's just if you don't care about your life, that sucks, but that's not anybody else's problem, or it shouldn't be anybody else's problem. But it's come on, you're blaming this guy, being oh, she was pregnant with her second child, and now they're both lost. Would you guys have batted an eye if when she pointed that gun on him and she pulled that trigger and he got domed? Would you guys been oh, well, life carries on? No. Oh, yeah, most likely, actually. Either way, there's victims in this story. But someone was truly the victim, and the other one who was trying to be the victim was actually the one who caused everything. So, yeah. It's a little serious episode this time. But, yeah, you've been listening to the Titanfall theme in the background. I have some sweeping up to do right now. It is my Friday. I'm very excited. I'm gonna see if I could put up some views on my Horker loaf or whatever. And yeah, I'm just gonna make another maybe Guinness beef stew tomorrow. I really want to try that, but also I'm gonna try another recipe. Maybe some sweet rolls. You know, nobody's stealing those from me. I'm making them myself. But yeah, all right, everybody. I hope you guys have an incredible day. Hey, if you guys drive, keep a level head. Make smart choices. Don't do anything of those foolishness, because honestly, in the end, it's not worth it. It really isn't. Yeah. All right, everybody. Hope you guys stay safe. Take care of one another. Take care of yourselves. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. See ya.